Hello and welcome to Gentoo. I'm Devin Vinzant in for Mackenzie Doherty, and this is your source for all things video game and tech related. Let's start things off with this week's up-and-coming releases. You can look forward to seeing these titles and many more released throughout the month on your favorite platforms. This week's releases are Dead Rising 4, Frank's Big Package for the PS4 December 5th. Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC December 5th. Steep, Road to the Olympics for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC December 5th. Bravo Team for the PSVR December 6th. And Hello Neighbor for the Xbox One and PC December 8th. These games and many more will be releasing throughout the month, so be sure to keep an eye out for them. Up next, check out What Happened With.
Hello and welcome to a kind of sad, melancholy end of the semester What Happened With. This week we're looking at Best of What Happened With. I'm just going to go ahead and play some of my favorite clips that I recorded this year, or some of the best points that I made this year, in my opinion, to highlight the fun I had making this pack every week.
Around with a bow and hunt some deer? You can do that. You want to master the arcane arts and blast your enemies to dust with lightning? You can do that. You want to just go full barbarian and hack and slash people into tiny little bits? Go ahead, you crazy axe murderer. Made a big change in how the base leveling mechanics worked. Instead of being based on how many skill points you put into one of your skills, there is now a lower cap.
Can't stop.
The series on the same console generation, the Xbox 360, the PS3, they bought the exact same game again. People love Skyrim. Here's where things get a little bit weird. With the release of the newest consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One, it was believed by fans that after Fallout 4 came out, the next game by Bethesda would be the next installment in the Elder Scrolls series. Imagine the surprise on the fans' face when they found out it wasn't another Elder Scrolls series game, but an HD remaster of Skyrim. This version of Skyrim had upscaled graphics, and it fixed some of the bugs at the core of the game. This new game also added the ability for console players to play the game with mods, which is one of the biggest factors and one of the biggest draws for people to play Skyrim on PC. Instead of making a whole new game though, they just released the same cash cow game that they had before. But I do want to take a minute and talk about some things that I really like about the game. First of all, I should say, I love this game. The fact you can customize your character is a big plus for me. I love looking at my cute little farmer running around in his boots and stuff. The art style is so gosh darn cute. All the people and the animals look amazing. Look at this dog. It's an amazing dog. He's such a good boy. Look at how cute he is. Not to mention the fact that you can romance characters. It's amazing. You get to ship characters. It's so much fun. Everything in the game is just so sweet. I really, really love this game. Skills that players had become accustomed to were removed and rolled into larger, more general perks. It felt like your character's abilities were not as diverse as they once could be. So what happened with Fallout 4? Bethesda took the Fallout formula and streamlined the base game mechanics to be more appealing for new players and those who are unfamiliar with the franchise.
I'm Nathaniel. It's been a pretty good year. And you're watching Gentoo.
Thanks, Nathaniel. Square Enix has released their Final Fantasy XV DLC announcement plans for the end of the year and upcoming months. For starters, the company plans to have all of the details for all future content hammered out by the end of this year. Director Hajime Tabata wants to release 3 episodes of DLC centered around individual characters, beginning with Arden's episode. Critics of the main story's lack of world building will have their questions answered with this DLC. Tabata also wants fans to know that he is aware of the interest in a Luna episode. He emphasizes that releases will be based on when a game is in a state of, quote, absolute sufficiency, rather than worry about specific release dates. He plans to both live up to and subvert expectations, as well as recapture fans that have cleared the game and lost interest. We'll continue after some commercials, but first here's insight on esports.
Welcome to Inside on Esports. I'm Sean Nino. For this week, instead of looking at what has happened in the past week, let's take a chance to look back at all of 2017. All sorts of Counter-Strike Global Offensive tournaments go on every year. The E-League Major Atlanta 2017 came down to Astralis and Virtuous Pro. While VP took the first map, Astralis won the final two to secure the title. In the Intel Extreme Masters 11 World Championship, Astralis was once again in another grand final, this time against FaZe Clan. Astralis lost the first map and this time won the last three maps, and they were crowned the IEM World Champions. In the last E-League tourney of 2017, FaZe Clan and Astralis met in the grand finals of the E-League CSGO Premier 2017. This time it was a clean sweep by FaZe Clan, and they took home $500,000 for their endeavors. While CSGO has many majors, Dota 2 has the International. For this year's event, the winning team took home $10.8 million. After being knocked out of the winner's bracket in the first round, Team Liquid had to battle through the loser's bracket to even stand a chance at getting to the grand finals, and that's what they did. Newbie lost some matches, but hadn't lost a series while going into the finals. Newbie was then swept in the grand finals by Team Liquid in one upset not many people had seen coming. League of Legends had its biggest world championship to date this year, taking place in China. After spring and summer splits, only 16 teams were in the group stages of Worlds. After a few weeks, those teams were dwindled down to SK Telecom T1 and Samsung Galaxy, both Korean teams from League of Legends champions Korea. Going into the grand finals, I thought SKT would win after a great 3-2 final, but Samsung Galaxy dashed the dreams of Faker and the hope of 3 consecutive world championships with the 3-0 sweep.
Your 2017 World Champions!
Many other events have happened in 2017, but looking forward to 2018, many new things are happening. The NBA 2K League is starting up in February. The Overwatch League announced all of its teams around the globe, and they will start their preseason December 6th and will play until mid-June when the playoffs get started. And in North American League Championship Series, they're getting 4 brand new franchises, with 3 of them being owned by NBA franchises, and many of the established teams are getting fresh new faces to play for their organizations. No matter which esport you love to play and watch, the esports scene as a whole is growing. For the final time, thank you for watching Inside on Esports. I'm Sean Nino. It's time to go back to Gen 2.
Welcome back to Gen 2. I'm Devin Vinzant in for Mackenzie Doherty, and you just saw Inside on Esports. Now it's time for NWIRL, where we'll take a look at some of the nerd culture right here in Maryville.
Hello and welcome to NWIRL. I'm Justin Wood, and this is the show where we meet you, the nerds, right here on Northwest Campus. Let's jump right in to meet this week's featured nerd. There you go. All right, we're rolling. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself. I'm with Michaela Anderson, and you're a senior.
Hi, I'm Michaela Anderson, and I am a senior.
Hi, I'm Mariah Frederick, and I'm the president of the Northwest Missouri State Anime Club.
Hey, I'm Philip Kendall, and I'm a junior here at Northwest.
Hi, I'm Justin Wood, and I'm your host for NWIRL. As this season comes to a close, I found nothing more appropriate to do than a recap of this amazing semester. This season of IRL was unforgettable, not only because it was my very first pack, but because I got to meet a lot of unique people along the way that were involved in a huge variety of activities and clubs. As a freshman, I couldn't thank my producer Nate quick enough for putting me on this pack. It forced me to come out of my bubble and experience everything Northwest has to offer. I thought I knew a lot about video production coming in, but man was I wrong. Luckily, we here at KNWT are one big family, and I'm very grateful to have them helping me improve each and every week. So, without further ado, let's take a look back at this season's NWIRL. From anime to wakeboarding, the diversity of this campus never disappoints. Although my favorite IRL was by far the intramural Call of Duty tournament. I've always been a pretty big fan of Call of Duty, except for my hiatus between Black Ops 2 and World War II, no need to go there, and being able to go out fairly soon after the release and cover a tournament of the hit game was a blast. I got some great shots and shared some conversations with fellow COD fans on their thoughts on the new release. Along with COD, I really enjoyed covering the fencing club. I'd never met anyone before who fenced, so throughout the interview I was legitimately learning about the club and the game itself, alongside the audience. I was blown away by how much variety there is in the sport when it comes to weapon choice and match style, and learning about all the equipment that is required for the sport astonished me. This definitely made for an interesting and unique IRL. The most exciting one for me was Bearcat Wake. Much like fencing, I was totally unaware of what actually went into wakeboarding, so learning about what equipment is in use and what wakeboarders are capable of doing on the boards absolutely blew me away. I was able to receive some GoPro footage from the president, and that made for a very fun edit. Rather than normal B-roll of just equipment and things, I was actually able to get shots of members in action, riding the wakes and doing tricks I never thought even possible on a board that size. Although not very game and tech related, this is probably the most memorable IRL I have the privilege to work on. Well, that's it for me, guys. Thank you all for tuning in and making this a semester to remember. Also, here's a huge thank you to the Gentoo crew for welcoming me into KNWT and showing me what it truly means to be a Bearcat.
Thanks, guys. If you, your event, or your organization want to be featured on NWIRL, you can message us on Facebook or email respawn KNWT the number 8 at gmail.com with the subject line NWIRL. Dell has released 5 new computers in its Precision series that will launch and ship with Ubuntu Linux distributions pre-installed rather than Windows 10. The Precision 5720 desktop and the 5520, 3520, 7520, and 7720 notebooks will all come pre-installed with Ubuntu as their operating system. Canonical, Ubuntu's parent company, said, quote, "We are excited to announce the availability of 5 new Dell Precision computers that come pre-installed with Ubuntu. These are systems developed by and for developers and are available in form factors ranging from sleek Ultrabooks to powerful workstations." Now we'll head over to Talk Nerdy to Me, our love letter to games you may not have heard of.
Hello and welcome to Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm your host, Nate Quick, and here I am with Devin Vinzant.
Hello, Nate.
Devin, what do we get the pleasure of talking about today?
All right, so this isn't necessarily, a game you may never have heard of. You've probably heard of it. It's Sonic Forces. It just came out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just picked it up about 2 days ago. So,
Oh, yeah?
First impressions.
First impressions. So right off the bat, just general terms, what do you think of it?
It is by no means the most fantastic game I've ever played. It definitely falls to a lot of Sonic's pitfalls, but I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I played it for like 4 hours straight last night, so it obviously held my attention. So
Let's go down and kind of break it down piece by piece. Start with the story. What do you think about the story?
They definitely, one of the pulls with Forces is they're trying to bring people back to the franchise. 3D Sonics have gotten a lot of flack, and especially now that Sonic Mania is out and it's hugely successful, they're trying to, get people back on their side. So 3D Sonics have taken kind of a variety of different story directions. We had storybook type stories. We had our human type stories like Sonic 06 and Unleashed that kind of more followed the X storyline. And now what they've done, they've gone back to a classic story from the old, 80s and 90s, it'd be 90s, cartoons, Sonic Underground and the Sonic comics. Everybody's animals again, and Eggman is taking over the world, and you are part of an animal resistance that is actually fighting a war to save the other animals.
Okay. How does the game use kind of the standard Sonic mechanics to make, all of this come to life?
So you do get to create your own character, and I would like to say that the character creation is pretty lackluster. There's not a lot of species that you want to be on there. It's real hard to make them look good. The coloring is a little bit inaccurate to some of the other characters, but they worked really hard on the clothing customization, which kind of makes up for it. And your character is a new recruit. Your character gets to use weapons, which other characters in the game don't. There's basically 3 styles of play. There's create a character play with grappling hooks and weapons. There's classic 3D Sonic fare with jumping and locking on, and then classic Sonic makes his return from Generations for the 2D side-scroller classic levels.
Okay. So if I've got the $40, I'm sitting there looking at it, I like the look of this game. Are you recommending I go out and get this, or are you saying hold on?
I might wait for the price to drop if you're unsure. There's a lot to point out with this game. I think its biggest pitfall is it's got too much going on visually. So the controls themselves are not too bad for a Sonic game. They're pretty tight, but it's hard to tell what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're really into Sonic, this is a pretty solid Sonic title. If you're on the fence, I would wait for the price to drop.
All right, you heard it here first. Thanks for tuning in to Talk Nerdy to Me. Stay tuned for more Gentoo.
Thank you for watching Gen 2. I'm Devin Vinzant in for Mackenzie Doherty. Stay tuned for Project Delta, where bad games go to die and good games get played badly. Gentoo and Delta air each week, Monday through Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m., and you can watch our content online at facebook.com/Gentoo8 and on KNWT's YouTube page.
Hello and welcome to Project Delta. I'm your host, Justin Wood, and I'm here today with...
Nate Quick.
All right, Nate, what are we playing today?
We are playing Dead Rising 2.
Dead Rising. And why exactly are we playing this today?
There is new DLC coming out very soon for the latest game in the series, so we figured we'd go back and play one of the older games and just kind of have some fun with it.
Awesome. So me and Nate don't really know a whole lot about this game, so we're just kind of going to figure it out as we go.
Is the hope.
Yeah. And for right now, we're finding bike parts, aren't we?
We're finding bike parts. We found, just before we started recording, we found a dirt bike, hopefully get us to some safety, but we got to find all the parts to put it together.
And you missed your window to give your daughter the medicine, so now she's just going to die, right?
I was hoping you wouldn't mention that on the air.
Well, she's dying. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Katie. We did miss our window for that, but it's kind of part of this. It's part of the story to decide who kind of lives, who dies. Hopefully, you make choices that don't include your daughter. Everyone is worshiping this person.
You can get a lot of bonus points for that, I would assume, or XP is what I would assume. There you go. That weapon's nice, man.
I'm trying to clear out some zombies.
What weapons have you been using since we started playing about 10 minutes ago?
Well, I think I just broke the bat that I was using, so now I'm using a wrench. Very large wrench.
There you go. Oh, Nate.
Or
oh,
just...
No. Oh, Nate. Oh. Well, that was fast.
It was not slow.
No, he just got you.
He just had nothing. I just had nothing left. I had nothing left.
All right, so are we playing the story mode right now, or are we playing like a couple side missions here and there just to kind of entertain ourselves?
I think the main story is kind of the who lives, who dies. You could probably count this here bike as part of the main story.
Okay.
Hi, Katie. Sorry. But right now, finding those bike parts is definitely kind of I think a little bit of a side quest at this point. The stronger mission objective should probably be saving the life of our daughter.
That's what I would assume.
But we've kind of failed as a father in that.
That's
so
all right. The bike parts are pretty important also. So
yeah, just motorbike over the life of your daughter.
It's fine. So I saw the military was on their way. Are you assuming that they're coming to help you or kill all the zombies they're unaware that you're actually there with them?
I'm assuming it's a bit of like an I Am Legend situation where nobody really knows that I'm here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So I don't expect the military to be a huge aid to me. They could be. That could be the twist.
That might be why you need the dirt bike, is to get out of there.
To get into with
That's
the military.
a good call.
I'm going to show the military my sweet dirt bike.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh,
carry over your dreams.
He's not a zombie. We'll get him out of here.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See? Is that 11 hours? Man, you got a while. You're fine. You're golden. You got $2,000. You can pay them off.
Pay off. We're going to make a comment about paying off the military here in our last episode of Delta for the season. Thank you for that, Justin.
You're welcome.
That man, or lack of a man, has a... Oh no!
You broke your
Get the bat. Get the bat.
You got a wrench. You had a wrench. Oh, he steal your wrench? Is he using tools? They're learning, Nate.
They are. I don't like the fact that they're learning. They should not be learning.
No.
I'm trying to find this poor man named Richard out here. I'm trying to save him. Trying to all the zombies that appear to be at a U2 concert, but might try to beat him. I'm not sure.
The weapon seems pretty effective.
It's very large area clearing.
I wouldn't say as effective as the one with nails stuck in it.
That's true. I already missed that bat.
Yeah, but I mean, it's doing its job.
I'm just trying to. They're just always here.
They just
stay away from
There's a lot there. Hence why the military's coming.
This is true.
And there you go. All right. How'd he get up there? That's what I want to know. That's impressive.
He does not look like a very spry gentleman, no offense to him. So I'm quite amazed that he was able to climb on top of this van.
Oh, there you go.
There goes my bat again.
All right. Oh.
I'm doing my best to clear out.
Oh, no. Not again. Oh, Nate. They're all over us, man.
Look, if you could see me, you would know not necessarily the best zombie defense weapon.
That makes sense.
Ever constructed.
I just don't judge like that, Nate. I don't judge a book by its cover.
Glad to know. Now you know the contents of the book, and they are not very survivable.
Assumptions, they don't always work out.
Don't always work out. We're going to get to say hi to Katie again because we keep loading from the same spot.
Yeah, there you go. And her
Katie.
health is back full.
I've got my bat again. My health is not full.
No,
That is-
her health.
Oh, her health is
Kate's
full.
health is back full.
I see how you keep prioritizing our daughter, and I keep prioritizing
I mean, it's
our dirt
pretty
bike.
important.
Yeah, but the dirt bike.
True.
You can see the conflict of interest we're having
Yeah,
here. With,
I understand that. I mean, if you look, are we looking for the bike parts now, or are we just kind of going around trying to save Richard up on that van?
I think Richard is a little bit of a lost cause at this point. The zombies will not
You're
relent.
probably right.
And I've died several times
Yeah,
now.
that is a good call. I would just look for the bike parts, and I'd get out of there.
I will attempt to find bike parts.
It's a good call. I would start in the garage, maybe. That would be a good place to start.
Not wrong.
Because I doubt there's gonna be a whole lot of bike parts on the street.
You don't think that they just are found in the wild?
I don't think so. No, they don't grow on trees, Nate. They don't grow on trees.
I'm learning a lot here today.
Anything for you, man.
Well, at least we now have a new timer for the military. We'll see when they get here.
And the tip save your game by visiting the restroom.
That's true. Just remember, kids, if you want to save, take a break. Just take a break.
Man, they're using, like I said, they're using tools again, man.
There are a few of them that I very much fear. They seem to have access to the tools. They have a little bit more. I'm not going to pick up that can of gasoline. That just seems like a very bad idea. Trying to thread the needle, looking for anything that is shiny.
So far, what is your favorite part about playing in this short amount of time that we've had together?
You really have to learn how to, oh goodness, how to, like I'm very poorly doing, navigate your way through the levels.
Yeah.
It's a matter of finding the best way through these hordes and hordes of zombies, which is what kind of gives the games their intrigue. There's just all of these waves of things that are trying to stop your progress, and in order to do what you need to do, you have to find your way through them, around them, or just swing at them with a bat.
Yeah, it's a little bit of strategy and run and gun kind of idea.
A little bit. It kind of mixes both. We're back in the garage. Let's look. Those are just saw blades.
Okay, that's not going to help out with the bike situation.
Those are not. There's the bike itself.
So we effectively got nowhere while looking for those bike parts.
We've not.
I've seen you die a couple times. That's pretty impressive.
It's true. If you want to know what the game over screen looks like, we can definitely inform you here at Gentoo. It's definitely something we can do for you. There is nothing.
So do snacks refill your health, or?
If I was a smarter man, I would probably believe that to be true.
Or do you just smack the zombies with the orange juice? There you go. Hey!
Look at that. Look at that.
We finally figured something out. That is amazing.
If you want to see us figure more things out here on Project Delta and on Gentoo, you can keep watching for more of our content. We air Monday through Thursdays at 8 p.m. if you're watching on TV. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And we can be found at KNWT Channel 8's YouTube page anytime you want, along with our Facebook page and theirs. So check us out.
Here we are loading again. Maybe we'll actually find some bike parts. I don't even know. You've looked, honestly. Okay.
I've learned just in cleanup areas.
You can't
Hey everybody, I want to thank our fantastic crew for this semester. I want to thank our always lovely and talented host, Mackenzie Doherty, even though she can't be with us this week. I want to thank our fantastic producer, Nate Quick, and I want to thank you for watching Devin Vinzant's Respawn TV presents Gentoo, the live action series. Now, click somewhere to subscribe. Here? Here. Click there. I'm just going to keep standing here. There's videos over there, I think.